Hello and good day. This is Punchline, and we are First News Nation. On Punchline, of course, we discuss national politics. I am Sammy Ajufo. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you as well for those of you who have followed us on all our social media handles: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook X, Instagram, YouTube at First News Nation, or those of you who are listening to us via our online radio, News Nation FM. Just the way you see here, go ahead. Enable notifications on all these platforms at First News Nation and News Nation FM. So every time we have a new episode of the show, you'll be the first to know. 2 out of the 3 top presidential candidates of leading political parties in the February presidential elections have organized world press conferences. I'm talking about Atiku Abubakar of the PDP and Peter Obi of the Labour Party. From the NNPP, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso has said absolutely nothing. We're going to talk about Peter Obi and his World Press Conference recently organized, and he was standing by the side of his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed. We'll talk about that, show you some clips, and have some discussions. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's still Punchline, and we are First News Nation. I am Sammy Ajufo. Mr. Peter Obi, presidential candidate for Labour Party in the February 2023 general elections, followed the footsteps of the PDP presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to address a world press conference following the decision of the Supreme Court on the presidential elections and put the victory in the hands of the APC presidential candidate, now President of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu. Mr. Peter Obi stood alongside his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, at the party campaign headquarters and addressed a world press conference. Mr. Peter Obi accused the Supreme Court of ignoring public opinion, abandoning its responsibility as a court of law and policy. He claimed that the court refused to acknowledge the overwhelming evidence of electoral malpractices.
The Supreme Court exhibited a disturbing aversion to public opinion, just as it abandoned its responsibility as court of law and policy. It is therefore with great dismay that I observe that the court's decision contradicts the overwhelming evidence of election rigging, false claim of technical glitch, substantial non-compliance to the rules set by INEC itself, as well as matters of perjury, identity theft, and forgery that has been brought to light in course of this election matter.
Well, the Labour Party presidential flag bearer stated that he and his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, had exhausted all legal and constitutional remedies available to them. He said it was for historical purposes. That's why they organized the World Press Conference, to let the public know of their feelings towards the Supreme Court ruling. Mr. Peter Obi claimed that both INEC and the Supreme Court, as referees, had shifted the goalpost in the middle of the game.
In disagreeing very strongly with the ruling of both the Presidential Petition Court and the Supreme Court on the outcome of the 25th February presidential election, as declared by the Independent Electoral Commission, as Democrats who believe in the rule of law, we recognize that the Supreme Court is the end stage of our quest for legal closure on this matter. As a party and candidate, Daddy and I have now exhausted all legal and constitutional remedies available to us. However, this end is only another beginning of our quest for vindication of hope of the common man for a better Nigeria. After all, sovereignty belongs to the people, if only for historical purposes. It behoves us to place our disagreement with and deep reservation about this judgment on public record.
Well, let's come to the conversation now. What is the future for the Labour Party and the obedience, seeing now that the Supreme Court has ruled in favor of Bola Tinubu? Bola Tinubu will be president of Nigeria from 2023 to 2027. Well, the general feelings of the obedience and the Labour Party and the PDP as well was that the country is going to head into a serious quagmire, that's the end of it. The judiciary cannot be trusted. No one is going to be interested in elections. This is one of the first periods in Nigerian history that young people came out to vote and they were disenfranchised. What's the future? Has the Labour Party, are the obedience, have they lost steam? Now, other people are asking questions. I'm also interested. Now that the Supreme Court has ruled in favor of the APC, would Peter Obi go back to the PDP? Will the Labour Party go back to what it was before? And will the obedience go back to just being the obedience or just being regular Nigerians? Will it scatter? Now, this is what Mr. Peter Obi said about this.
Going forward, we in Labour Party and the obedient movement are now effectively in opposition. We are glad that the nation has heard us loud and clear. We shall now expand the confines of our message of hope to the rest of the country. We will meet the people in their places where they feel pain and answer the needs for hope. At marketplaces, motor parks, town halls, boardrooms, university and college campuses, we will carry and deliver the message of a new Nigeria. As stakeholders and elected Labour Party officials will remain loyal to our manifesto.
Now, Peter Obi said in this press conference that it's time to build a strong political opposition. Now, I have that question. Is Labour Party going to stand as that strong political opposition? Are they ready to play the part of opposition as Peter Obi has said? Will the Labour Party go to sleep just as many of its candidates went to sleep after the governorship elections? In several states, they didn't win. In several states, only won in Abia State. But will they play the role of an opposition party? And will they partner with the leading opposition party, the PDP? Between both of them, I want you to tell me in the comment section, between PDP and Labour Party, who do you think is a stronger opposition? Who do you think is playing a stronger opposition role? Is it the PDP? Is it Labour Party? Or is it neither? Go ahead and drop it in the comment section below. Now, bearing in mind that both parties are currently facing leadership crisis, the PDP has an acting national chairman. We're waiting for an actual convention in which a chairman will be formally elected. The Labour Party has been having issues between Julius Abure and Lamidi Apapa. People are wondering who is the party chairman of Labour Party. Well, the courts have ruled in favor of Julius Abure, but it seems there's some factions, very strong factions in the Labour Party. With these problems, and not also forgetting the serious issues that are bedeviling PDP right now, some sources, some opposition, some opinions are that the PDP governors have actually joined the APC camp by going to congratulate President Bola Tinubu, and that Atiku Abubakar, the PDP presidential candidate, is on his own. So what's your opinion about that? Bearing in mind that Nyesom Wike is still a factor within the PDP, Atiku Abubakar and Nyesom Wike still within the PDP, all is not well. On the part of Labour Party, all is not well. Bearing in mind that both parties have leadership crisis, do you think that PDP and Labour Party would actually form a strong opposition? Let's go for a short break. When we get back, we'll talk more. Welcome back. It's still the conversation about Peter Obi's press conference following the Supreme Court ruling and many questions that have cropped up since that. about the Labour Party saying, Peter Obi saying the Labour Party will be a very strong opposition, that's the role he's going to play. Now he's no longer vying for presidency. The many questions we have talked about before we went on the break is Labour Party strong enough to play the role of opposition? Is the PDP strong enough to play the role of opposition? Clearly, in Nigeria, there are three political parties, and we've seen it's the PDP, the Labour Party, and the APC. The APC being the ruling party right now. What of NNPP? What of SDP? What of all those other presidential candidates who were present during the presidential election? Well, we know the end of that story. But for now, what Peter Obi is saying is, don't count us out yet. Because we didn't win the presidency doesn't mean we are not going to remain as an opposition party. But is the Labour Party still strong enough? Will all those big men, all those strong names who went with Peter Obi into the Labour Party, who supported them, names like Aisha Yusufu, other names who are there, will they continue with the Labour Party, or will they say we tried our best, let's move on? However, I'm also interested because so far in the National Assembly, the Labour Party has gone to bed, the PDP as well has gone to bed. Several issues have cropped up. Starting from the ministerial screening, Labour Party was sleeping. The only time they stood up to say something was when Festus Keyamo was being screened. And after that, that was the end of Labour Party. We didn't hear any opposition. In the Labour Party, in the National Assembly, palliatives have been given. Labour Party didn't say anything. During the time when we talked about the monies that President Tinubu has asked for, Labour Party has said nothing. When the cars, 40 billion naira to buy cars, have cropped up, Labour Party said nothing. Caucus. We don't even know who is the caucus leader of Labour Party in the National Assembly. In the Green Chamber, we don't know. In the Red Chamber, we don't know. Labour Party is a sleeping giant in the National Assembly right now. Does this mean that because Peter Obi has said that they are going to act as opposition, they're actually going to wake up? Or would you also blame the fact that many of them had to fight their cases at the election tribunal? Some of them have won from the Court of Appeal. Some of them have lost. Will you say this is the reason why Labour Party had been sleeping so far? I think Labour Party is not a strong party. I think it will take a long time for Labour Party to actually build up. Right now, they're still in charge of several states. They've won seats in the Green Chamber, a few senators here and there. But will they be able to hold themselves till the year 2022? Will the Labour Party be able to stand as an effective and formidable opposition before 2027? That's the question we're asking now. And I don't know. I need you to drop your comments in the comment section. But I don't really see that happening. I see that the possibility of many Labour Party members probably moving to the PDP or moving to the APC might happen. It will take a long time and a lot of strength and purpose for Labour Party members, leaders, elected officials to actually come together. Will Peter Obi be able to hold the reins as the national leader of Labour Party? Or will we see more hits at the Labour Party leadership? Will they be effective? Now, let's not forget that we have elections coming up in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states. Except for Kogi and Bayelsa states, Imo seems to be the only formidable one where we have a formidable candidate of some sort. But will the Labour Party now push its energies towards Imo, where there is a very strong candidate, the incumbent governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma? What is happening in Kogi State? There are some rumors recently that a faction of Labour Party is aligning with PDP to fight the APC. Will this actually bring anything to fruition? The Labour Party candidate in Bayelsa State came out to say he's contesting under Labour, not under Peter Obi. Is there a fracas within the Labour Party in Bayelsa State? What of the next off-cycle elections that will happen in Edo State and Ondo State in 2024? Will the Labour Party pull a shocker? Will they add one more state to Abia State? The questions are numerous, and you probably have the answers. Drop it in the comment section below. I am still Sammy Ajufo. Thanks for joining us.